Welcome back to Been There, Watch That. Myself, Justin. I'm here with Joe and Dave. And this week, Joe is bringing us the 2013 film Now You See Me. We've got a website, BeenThereWatchThat.com. And then social media, just type in BTWT Pod, and you'll be able to reach out, give us a little suggestion if there's a movie you'd like us to cover. And this one's one I've never seen, but the guys had seen it. So it's totally new for me and a revisit for them.
Yeah.
Anything new on the second time, third time around, whatever it is for you guys?
Again, in my opinion, looking at it from a critical standpoint, changed my perspective of how I watched the movie. Because now, instead of just watching it for enjoyment, I start thinking about, what is this character really cast well? Should somebody else be in that position? So that always adds a little intrigue for me.
A lot of very recognizable actors, and in this one, I mean, there's a whole list. Morgan Freeman, you got Woody Harrelson, Garofalo, who's made a couple of his films have been on the pod before.
Yeah. We this movie has a few repeat offenders on our cast.
The girl who's from Interpol, when she comes over and she's kind of alongside Ruffalo, they're working together to try to catch these guys. I was like, where have I seen her before? And she's in Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, Melanie Laurent
Yeah,
plays
took me a
Alma Dre.
minute, but I figured it out.
Yeah. Joe, you want to roll through the
Oh, so do a synopsis and casting call?
There
All
you
right.
go. Attaboy.
All right, so the synopsis. 4 magicians each answer a mysterious summons to an obscure address with secrets inside. A year later, they are the 4 Horsemen, a big-time stage illusionist who climax their sold-out Las Vegas show with a bank apparently robbed for real. This puts FBI agents Dylan Rhodes and Interpol agent Alma Dre on the case to find out how they did it. However, this mystery proves to be difficult to solve, even with the insights of professional illusion exposer Thaddeus Bradley. What follows is a bizarre investigation where nothing is what it seems to be, with illusions, dark secrets, and hidden agendas galore, as all involved are reminded of a great truth in this puzzle. The closer you look, the less you see.
I like that tagline.
So the casting call on this is, it stars Jesse Eisenberg as J. Daniel Atlas, and Mr. Eisenberg's known for The Social Network and Zombieland. Common plays the role of Evans, and also starred in Wanted, John Wick Chapter 2, and Suicide Squad. Mark Ruffalo is a repeat offender on our lineup, and he plays Agent Dylan Rhodes, and he's also been in Begin Again, which you can check out our review in our archives.
You're welcome.
And The Avengers.
Episode number 9, Begin Again.
Justin's on the ball this morning.
Yeah.
Episode 9.
Good movie. I like that one. All right, sorry, Joe.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Woody Harrelson plays Merritt McKinney, and Mr. Harrelson's known for Cheers and Zombieland. Dave Franco plays Jack Wilder, and from our most recent episode, one of our most recent episodes, which was Justin's pick, the disaster
number 29.
There you go. The Disaster Artist, and also known for Neighbors. Isla, is that how you pronounce her name, Miss Fisher? Is it Isla or Isla?
I think it's Isla.
Isla Fisher. She plays Henley Reeves. She's known for The Wedding Crashers. Morgan Freeman plays Thaddeus Bradley, and Mr. Freeman's known for Driving Miss Daisy and The Dark Knight. And he also has a co-star from The Dark Knight in this movie, Michael Caine, and he plays Arthur Tressler. Michael Kelly is Agent Fuller, and has played in Dawn of the Dead, Everest, and Man of Steel. And Katrina Balfe plays Jasmine Tressler, which is and Miss Balfe's played in Ford versus Ferrari, which is in our archives.
You're waiting for me, right? No, episode 14.
Justin is on the ball.
Not so much with that one. It took me a second, but I found it.
But still, you're a lot faster than what I would have tried to find it. And Outlander. So that is our casting call.
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo in most of the scenes, I'd say. And
Yes.
Morgan Freeman pops in. He and Michael Caine are kind of these two guys that have this interest in music. At one point he says to Michael Caine, like, "You're making money off raising them up. I'm making money from tearing them down." Basically, Morgan Freeman's the guy that exposes magicians, shows people how they do
Yes.
the tricks, whereas Michael Caine wants to put them on a big stage and make money that way.
It's interesting you talk about that because it's kind of like a little subplot.
Mhm.
You know, you have what the magicians are doing.
Right.
That seems to be the main thing. And then you have Freeman and Michael Caine who are facing off against each other as another, part of this movie. And that's part of what I didn't think about before until I realized we were critiquing it.
Right.
That is like, by golly. So good awareness, Justin.
Yeah, Michael Caine apparently has just endless money, so he's able to say, like,
And he had 144 million in the bank.
he's able to say to Morgan Freeman, basically, I'm going to give you $10 million to track down these magicians because he'd been robbed, basically.
And he offered him something before that. He offered, hey, I'll double your money, and he said 2.5.
Stay out
And
of
then,
the way and just go away.
and
Trying
then
to pay him off.
he came back the second time. And he's like, now it's $5 million, and he's like, huh. Value went up, and he goes, do you see me flinch?
Yeah.
I'm like, you just lost 144 million.
Yeah. What's 10 million at this
Yeah.
point?
Interesting.
So yeah, the movie opens with, they show all the four main kind of putting together this little squad of magicians. Well, Woody Harrelson, hypnotist, different types of magic.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of reminded me almost of an Ocean's 11 type of vibe. Getting
Yeah.
the crew together for the next big thing that they're gonna do. And I saw like a review. One person said this is like the Ocean's 11 for the Gen Y.
Ooh.
That is a great
Yes.
comment. Yeah.
And I've watched both movies before, and I never, honestly, didn't put the
Hold
two.
on.
Two
When did this
together.
movie come out?
2013.
And when was Ocean's 11?
10 years before, I think.
2004.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And I never had put those two together until we actually started critiquing them. I was like, okay, I can see the similarities.
Yeah.
So, Justin, you talked about at the beginning where we learn who the four horsemen are and each role that they play. The card trick that Jesse Eisenberg played or showed.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the trick, or did you participate? Like, did you pick a card at random while you watched?
I did
To
not.
me, the one that
Seven of
the
Diamonds.
Seven of Diamonds was, they did something to where
It
that
kind of
was the one
paused
that
a second
went
when he
into
was flipping
Yeah.
through.
your head. It looked like he was flipping it fast, but it stood out.
Yeah.
He
So-
did it fast once, and then he did it again and said, let me slow it down, and you can see the seven of diamonds flash up.
So, one of the things that they had requirements for this role is they all had to learn magic. So the card trick that Jesse Eisenberg was doing, there was no editing involved. That was a
Really?
real magic trick done in real time that he was trained to do.
It made me think because there definitely were special effects in other parts of the movie,
Right.
which made me question maybe that's a little camera trick they did or something.
No, that was just straight. It's done by performing what is known as a card force, wherein the magician makes an unsuspecting audience member pick a predetermined card. The audience member believes he picks a random card, a belief which is strengthened by the magician usually reshuffling the deck several times. This, of course, is just misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
And in their main show too, they use they're intentionally trying to pick someone out of the audience, but make it appear random.
Random.
So
Right.
Yeah.
they know this one guy that they're trying to target is in row B,
5B.
113, and then
Section B.
they show audience picking random balls out of a jar, like lottery style, but then you see them slip
Yeah, a little
the
sleight
ball
of
that they
hand.
want them to pick out of their sleeve, and then that's part of the whole.
Pretty neat how it kind of shows you that, and it films through goes through showing like the rabbit in the box and
Or when the guy drops down into
yeah,
the set. I mean, that was
the
for me.
safe.
I was kind of like, well, now that makes total sense, but I didn't even anticipate it before. I
Yeah.
guess. It
Right.
should have been obvious, but
Well, if you notice, the machine collapsed up. When it hammered really hard, it came up off the ground. So it doesn't seem logical that he would have dropped through the floor.
Right.
Timing would have had to have been really good for that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it's part of show business.
Right.
So a lot of neat stuff, a lot of references back to other things. Morgan Freeman says these bars give man a time to think. That was a Shawshank Redemption referral,
Yes.
1994.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
And in the scene where Daniel and Merritt enter the secret room,
Mm-hmm.
McKinney tells Atlas that he is a bit of a control freak, and to which Atlas replies, "Have we met before?"
Yeah.
And that's actually a nod to their movie before, which was Zombieland.
Zombieland, yeah. Huh. So a lot of interesting little things in here, and that if you notice that Haley wore gloves all the time, she was a germaphobe,
Yeah, which
portrayed as a germaphobe.
Which I read that last night, and I was like, really? I just thought that was part of her just her.
Yeah, persona.
Yeah.
But I think, just one of those things. Throw a little wrench in there, make her particular. She wore gloves everywhere.
Yeah, I thought she just preferred to wear gloves. That was part of her look, her persona, and just never gave it a second thought.
So let's jump into the thick of it here.
Okay.
Because I'm curious.
Okay.
And again, I watched this time I watched it with the eye of, okay, what are the questions that always come up? And here's my question. Would you trade out any of the actors for somebody else? Because they had a whole list of people that were considered.
Yeah, I seen the list last night.
Yeah, like Seymour Hoffman, Cary Grant, Sacha Baron Cohen, Colin Firth were all considered for lead roles, and then they went with younger people.
And Jim Carrey was on that list too.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. Yep, that's what I mean. Can you see anybody filling in for the Four Horsemen other than who they had?
I didn't love Isla, or however you say it.
Really?
Really?
I didn't think her acting was great. I would swap her
well,
out in an instant.
She was probably the weakest out of the four. I agree, because she didn't have a distinct role. I don't think, where the other ones did.
Well, but she was Atlas's former
Assistant,
lover.
yeah.
Assistant. And so
I just mean like Atlas was the leader who had charisma. Woody Harrelson was the mind guy. Jack Wilder, nothing is locked ever.
Dave Franco, he got his whole 5-minute, pretty cool action scene.
Yeah.
When he's being pursued by the FBI.
Right.
I don't remember her getting any sort of time to shine like that, where she showed off some cool things like.
That's what I mean.
True.
She didn't really have her niche.
She escaped the piranha tank at the beginning, but other than that.
Yeah.
Well, now in the original script, that role was not cast for a woman. It was all 4 men, and then something changed.
Yeah. And I thought I saw somewhere where they were considering different people for that role. Amanda Seyfried. I don't know who that is. Seyfried.
She played a little bit of a part. Just
Olivia Wilde.
When they're tracking that guy in Europe and trying to use mental little hints, subliminal things to get him to go to Vegas.
Right.
Yeah.
At one point, she kind of walks past him and gets his measurements or something. She's part of it that way, but even that part was a little.
She got his head measurements.
She bumped into him a little bit, oh, sorry, sir, and got some measurements on him.
Yeah.
Andrea Riseborough was also considered.
I don't know. I thought in Wedding Crashers she was pretty funny. Definitely lended
Yes.
a funny
Different role there. Yeah.
role for that movie, but this one wasn't. I don't know. Totally buying it. Seemed like a lot of her lines were almost just kind of laughing and around with the crew. And
Yeah. Now, I did see where she actually had some trouble filming the piranha tank scene.
Yeah.
The top of the tank remained open so that she could swim up to the top to get some air. And there was also an emergency lever inside the tank that if she pulled it, it would allow the crew to know that she needed help. During one take, Fisher was running out of air and tried to swim to the top, but the chains on the handcuffs she was wearing got stuck to the bottom of the tank, so she was unable to swim up or grab the lever. She then attempted to alert the crew by hitting the glass of the tank, but since her character is supposed to be panicked and scared in the scene, the crew just brushed it off. Hey, she's acting, let's leave it go. And she was stuck for 3 minutes before the stunt coordinator finally realized there was something wrong after he noticed that her handcuffs were stuck.
3 minutes?
3 minutes.
I've done 2 minutes, and I was pushing it. So 3 sounds
Wow.
Yeah, and here's the okay, so you said you've done 2 minutes, and that was in a control environment that
No piranhas.
yeah, well, that you could pull up for air at any time. you wasn't panicking.
I mean, holding your breath for a minute's tough.
Yeah. Plus the anxiety and panic of
Being
I
handcuffed.
I could die. I can't get out. I'm stuck.
Anybody you could picture, Joe, swapping out, or do you like it for the most part?
I kind of like the cast that was here, and then when I read that Jim Carrey was considered for one of the roles, I love Jim Carrey. I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan.
I could picture him taking Woody's spot, maybe.
I don't think so.
Wow. Jinx.
Yeah, well, I just mean, I don't know. Jim Carrey carries his own type of humor and stuff. He's a comedian more. Like, I mean, I know Woody Harrelson is too, but I thought Woody Harrelson was perfect for the role because he's kind of got that little bit of a boyish charm with, you know,
Yeah. I see what
a
you're saying.
hint of seriousness in him. Where Jim
Kind of a
Carrey,
rude guy, kind of a
Yeah.
bad boy a little bit.
yeah,
Jim Carrey's kind of over the top, so in my mind, it would be like bringing
Yeah.
Ace Ventura in there, and I just don't
Yes.
think that would work. It's kind of like Robin Williams. I love Robin Williams' work, but I could not see Robin Williams in this type of movie either. Okay, now hold on. Although I say that, but he did such a phenomenal job on 1 Hour Photo. That was completely opposite what his what he's known for, like Mrs. Doubtfire. So Robin Williams could have possibly pulled this one off, but
I don't think so.
But Jim Carrey, nothing against him. I love his work. That's a hard sell for me.
Yeah, I thought they were great. I agree with you. The girl could have been switched out pretty easy, just because
Yeah.
she was kind of flat.
I didn't love Mark Ruffalo in this either, but
I go back and
he was
forth.
kind of Hollywood. I like him in a more serious. I don't know.
I think when he was trying to be serious and tough, he forced it a little.
Yeah.
I did notice some places there where, but see that
When the twist at the end, though, then you realize, well, maybe he was intentionally doing. some of that.
that's exactly what you beat me
But
to
the
it.
whole movie, I'm like, I'm not loving him.
Yeah,
But
he's
then at the end, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe that's part of the movie where he's supposed to be forcing it, so it's not. He is acting. You know what I mean?
Right.
He is acting in the movie as an FBI agent,
Right.
where he's behind the scenes. So I was like, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah,
Maybe they told him you have to kind of fake it a little.
He keeps like basically making these threats. Oh, he's gonna get him, but he never.
Yeah, and that's and it
He
seemed
always
kind
just
of
falls
hollow.
a little short.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that, but I agree with Justin. Even his threats seem like he was forcing it, like he's trying to be this tough guy that's going to get him, but his heart's not in it. Interesting.
Yeah. But Morgan Freeman was a good character to throw
Yeah,
in.
Morgan Freeman was perfect.
Yes. Yeah, just the interaction between him and Michael Caine was very well done.
Yeah. And Michael Caine did a good job. He kind of carried himself off as pompous, which I don't see hard to do for any British person.
In American culture, for just want some unknown reason.
Yeah.
Definitely a little bit of mystery going. The entire movie, like where are these kind of mysterious-looking cards coming from that keep showing up in different places that are like clues and leading all these different magicians into this whole thing. Yeah, I kind of forgot about it. Then you start realizing towards the end of the movie, they're like basically carrying out all these orders because they think they're going to get into some secret society.
Yeah, there's a bigger plan involved
Yeah.
that to this point, literally all the way to the end, they have no idea who's behind it and what the end goal is.
Yeah, and I didn't think that they foreshadowed that part very well.
Right.
I mean, there was kind of they did in the beginning of the movie, like the eye horse and blah blah blah. They kind of did there, but then it kind of lost sight of what they were doing as they went. Like they kept saying, "You got to run this to the end." There's that one scene where they're cleaning out the apartment and the police are on their way. Like follow the plan. You got to trust in the process. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of that. So I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of stuff going on though.
Well, and you would think they might have shot just a little blip of somebody going, guys, is this really worth it? I mean, there wasn't any naysayers or anybody stopping at some point going, well, what are we actually getting out of this?
Yeah.
We're doing all this work. We're not seeing any benefit from it. I mean, at least we're not as an audience seeing any benefit.
Yeah.
We saw them, empty a safe. We've seen them do it and take.
And that's the crazy. And I agree with you. So on my side of it, what I see is that they're pulling off these heists to right a wrong. but that's how they earn their way into the eye,
Yeah.
which is magic based.
And we're told just a little bit about what wrongs they're trying to right, but we're not told the whole reason behind it other than
At the end, they kind of did though.
right. Well, towards the end, but
To avenge his father's death, basically, right?
right,
Well, see that there were several subplots. One, Tressler Company robbed people of their money,
right,
so they paid it all back. The bank backed them, so they stole from the bank, and then so they committed actual crimes, but they couldn't pin it on them. And then of course,
like the metal box was
Shrike was
made poorly, and then
using cheap steel.
His dad drowned in the river, basically, because of
Yeah, so he's avenging his father as well. So a lot of stuff happening.
very very complex story.
Yeah, for
But-
a comedy action deal.
But it complex but easy to follow.
Yeah, oh yeah, entertaining.
Yes.
So what was your all's favorite scene? What poignant scene stood out?
I kind of like the action scene I mentioned earlier with Dave Franco and ingenious ways of fighting using magic, basically. That
Yeah.
I've never seen in a movie before. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like it when he looks and he can either pick up the poker or a handful of cards, and he chooses the cards.
Yeah.
Oh, and he impersonates him too.
Yeah,
Over the
listens to him.
radio.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
That was kind of cool scene.
Now, Mark Ruffalo and Dave Franco have both confirmed in interviews that when he was throwing the cards at Ruffalo's face, that he actually accidentally did cut
Cut him,
Ruffalo's
yeah.
face with one of the cards when he was throwing it at him.
Joe, what about your favorite part? Oh, sorry, Justin.
Just some of those, the way people can throw cards. I didn't realize that people in real life can throw
Oh, yeah.
cards like do some crazy stuff. with
Yeah, so I've seen a video of a guy throwing one over a house, like a 2-story house, like literally throwing. And I've tried it. It's really hard to throw a card very far.
it. Yeah.
And get any kind of
And
accuracy.
accuracy, they can basically, you can hold out a piece of paper and they
Ooh.
slice it out.
Justin getting
Injury.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a ninja throwing star.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get deathly.
I wonder if they use special cards for that, or if they just learn how to throw real ones that well.
I'm going to assume they're just regular playing cards.
Huh, interesting.
Also, like when they flash back and kind of show, there's way more into this trick. Like I mentioned, just seeing the guy in Europe and flicking a little
Mm-hmm.
casino chip just to kind of try to plant it in his head.
Yeah.
Like ways of,
Planting that idea.
picking your mark and trying to find a way to get them into the magic show and pick them and all that. That's kind of cool.
So, Joe, what about you? Any poignant scenes stand out for you?
The most poignant scene for me was right at the end with Morgan Freeman and Mark Ruffalo in that jail cell. Because at this point, we still don't know. Because we're led to believe that it's almost Morgan Freeman's character,
Yeah.
and then Mark Ruffalo goes in there and going, "Okay, explain this, 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 and this," and then Morgan Freeman's going, "I can't," and it's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, it's got to be him," and then literally 3 seconds, boom, it's it's revealed to us, and it's completely blindsided, and
Yeah.
had no idea the entire time that who we thought was against him.
I knew who it was the whole time.
Well, because you've seen it before.
True. You beat me to my punchline. Thanks, Joe.
So Justin,
Yeah, it's like my 4th time seeing it.
being the first time viewer,
Yeah.
did you when it was revealed how it all worked, was you expecting that or was you completely blindsided?
Blindsided.
Really?
Nice.
'Cause
Yeah.
I kind of even forgot about the shadowy character in the hoodie from the beginning.
Yeah,
It's one of those movies where certain things I kind of forgot about as it went on, just kind of got sucked into the crew pulling off the different stuff, and then forgot, oh yeah, there's some puppet master behind the scenes of this whole thing.
Yeah, I forgot about the hoodie guy too because I was watching it, and then when it showed where he was the one
Comes
standing there,
back,
it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that he was standing there. We just saw the back of his head at the beginning, completely forgotten because you just get sucked in and it takes you down all these rabbit holes that you forgot about the most poignant point at the very beginning.
Yeah. So for me, it was the police station interview.
Oh
all of them.
yes,
I I really like the part like, hey, listen, don't believe everything. They're just making stuff up and blah 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 blah. And then Woody Harrelson goes in and blows him up with his mentalism. And then I really like Jesse Eisenberg when he threw the handcuffs on Dylan.
Yes.
On Garofalo. He's like, boosh, hits him with the handcuffs, and he turns around and looks at the camera, which doesn't seem important at the time, but then when they go back and they realize he pocketed his phone.
Yeah.
Swapped it out.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? At the time, it was just like, that was so smooth, and it kind of gives the camera a knowing look.
Yeah, just like, gotcha.
Yeah. So, and again, that reinforces Isla's character, Haley, where her trick in the room was spinning the chair.
Yeah.
And Dave Wilder, or Jack Wilder, what did he say? Did he have a big role in the interview room?
I don't think he.
I don't think he did either.
If he did, I don't remember it. Justin?
Who's that?
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco. Did he?
No.
I don't remember him doing anything. So there's Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson carrying the bulk of the weight there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought those were the most memorable
Makes you
scenes for me.
wonder, did they shoot something and then got cut later because it
Yeah.
didn't seem to
Very
work?
possible.
Hmm.
So, one thing that when they found the bug in Ruffalo's phone, I was sitting there going, well, how could they get an exact clone of his phone? They show the footage of him pocketing the phone, but how, you on
Garofalo gave it to him.
Yeah.
As the mastermind. So yeah,
Yeah, it all makes sense.
It's crazy.
Yeah, at the time, it all makes sense at the end, but at the time, you're going.
Well, how did he swap the new, like the one with the bug in it? How did they get it back? I think they may have shown him it being slipped into his pocket, maybe.
They showed him.
They slipped it. Jesse Eisenberg slipped it in his pocket during the interview at the police station when they spilled the pop, or when she spilled the pop to get the handcuff key out.
He grabbed
the phone so the pop wouldn't spill onto the phone.
Well,
and just when he picked it up, he slid a hand that put it in his pocket and handed him the clone.
They figured out what Mark Ruffalo's phone was before all that.
Yeah, because since he was the mastermind.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo was behind it all.
Yeah.
So he knew what phone he had.
Gotcha.
So he was feeding them secret information, the plans, the blueprints, what to do, how to do it all. And then, that's just another one of those things.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one of those, because when they found the bug, I'm going, because I'd forgotten about it. And I was going, well, how did they get the exact clone of that phone? And then when we find out that he's a mastermind, it's like, well, okay, now it makes perfect sense on how they got an exact clone of the phone, because he gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through the jail scene here.
Mm-hmm.
Just YouTube it real quick. They don't even show Franco other than the initial, he's sitting in the room.
Right.
Now they show the girl twice twirling the chair.
Right.
But otherwise, everything is Woody Harrelson and
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two heavy lifters, the more and more we look at it, the
It's
two
funny,
heavy lifters.
the way you describe it or break it down, Dave, there's all this sleight of hand going on in one room, and then the other room there's a chair spinning.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
And then Dave Franco doesn't have anything in it.
Right. Just staring at the wall.
So now have you guys seen Zombieland?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Woody Harrelson and
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg work very well together.
Oh yeah.
I love both the movies that they're.
See, I think Woody Harrelson carries that though because he's so charismatic.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen him in a cowboy movie with what's that guy's name? His dad's also a big actor.
What's it about?
Where they're cowboys and they have to go in the city to rescue this guy's daughter, Pancho's daughter, guy that works for him. She's an immigrant that gets shipped over. Blah blah blah.
I might have missed that one.
The Cowboy Way.
Okay.
Not Kevin Bacon, but anyway.
Yeah, Cowboy Way.
Yeah.
I've not seen that one.
It's pretty good. But anyway, forgot where I was going at that point. Got me sidetracked by another movie. Kiefer Sutherland.
Okay.
But you throw those two together, and and Woody Harrelson's aptly named Pepper Lewis, and by golly, does he do a good job.
And he's a phenomenal actor. Going from, being such a comedic actor in Cheers
Mm-hmm.
to just
He's really
Blowing.
old. I mean, how old is he?
I don't know.
60s, maybe? Doesn't look it, though, really.
Yeah.
He is 60.
Yeah, he plays it off. He plays a well-aged 50-year-old probably, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Woodrow Tracy Harrelson. From Midland, Texas.
This sort of movie, a little bit of whodunit, twists and turns. It seems to be somewhat of a theme here on the show. That we had Clue, Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12. Usual Suspects, definitely a mystery that keeps unraveling as it goes.
yeah, and
Reservoir Dogs.
yes, that was the one I was thinking of. Because I was thinking Slumdog Millionaire. I was like, no, that is not even close.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reservoir Dogs.
Would you say this is definitely something you guys gravitate towards? Is keep you guessing type of movies?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well, I know you like all sorts of movies, Dave. But
yeah, it's action, it's
one of
quick, it's
those.
clever. I liked it because it was clever. I thought there's a lot of clever stuff in it.
I think in general, I like something like this more than a straight action where there's no real
Yeah.
twists and turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, action for action's sake. This was
Yeah.
actually had a storyline.
Yeah, several plots.
Yes.
I like that aspect. You know, you had Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine kind of at each other's throats, and then you had Dylan against the Interpol agent, and then you had the Four Horsemen against everybody. So, and even in the Four Horsemen, there's some strife in between them. A little bit of tension between Eisenberg and the girl, and then, of course, Woody Harrelson hitting on the girl, and then Dave Franco not really having a place to be. So,
Yeah, he's a little bit of maybe the least experience out of the bunch.
yeah, that's what they
Kinda
called
trying
him,
to-
the
kid,
amateur or the kid, yeah, the young guy.
But yet you'll find out at the end that he played a much bigger role
Yes.
in it than what anybody realized.
Yeah, he was the man behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, to get into the magic thing, he had to do a lot of grunt work.
Right.
Anyway.
Now, I know it's totally intentional to some extent, but I definitely didn't love Jesse Eisenberg as a character, just so cocky and
He
putting
plays
people
that.
down, and
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the role, though.
he definitely does. It was a little bit of a switch for him.
Yeah.
Like Social Network, he's not like that at all, or Zombieland, really.
Well, in the Social Network, at one point he tries to be, but
Yes.
he just can't.
Couldn't carry it
Yeah,
off.
can't carry it off.
But they really dialed up the cocky magician
Yes.
thing with this one.
I
Yeah.
thought he carried it well.
Yeah, I thought he actually
No,
sold
he
this
played
one
it
pretty.
well, but it, don't like it, which is probably intentional. They didn't want you to totally like him as a character.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he's got to be kind of a jerk to pull off his role.
Right. I bought it much better than I bought Rick Moranis being a ladies' man.
True. There you go. All right.
yeah, anything you guys noticed this time around that you totally didn't notice before?
The interaction between the characters, and then again paying attention to the subplots. I'd never thought about that before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's usual that you have a movie that has 3 different subplots
Right.
all rolling together. So that part I noticed and I paid attention to. And then, which actors or actresses we'd switch out. I agree with you. I would have switched out the girl with anybody. I think the role was minor. And the same with Dave Franco. I thought Dave Franco looked athletic enough to pull off the stunts and stuff he was doing, which was good.
Right.
But the minor role could have been anybody.
Right.
But he played it well. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying bad on either one of them's part.
Right.
I'm just saying minor roles. Where Eisenberg and Garofalo, I thought played really well. I thought the whatever the laureate lady, the Interpol agent,
Yes.
I thought that could have been anybody. But I was intrigued by her. I'd seen her in Inglourious Bastards, and she kind of had that same aloofness, which if you're American, you kind of attribute to French people anyway. So I
Right.
thought she carried that pretty well.
What do you think of basically stealing a dead body out of a morgue, putting it in a car,
Yeah.
speeding it down the road and flipping it 100 times, possibly
Setting it on fire.
potentially threatening other people's lives on the bridge?
Now that was sketchy.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. That's a big risk to take.
Oh yeah, somebody else.
If it went
could've
across that
wrecked
little
easily.
wall or something, yeah, it
Yeah,
killed everybody.
yeah, it could have gotten hairy real quick, like. But
You know, and speeding through the streets like that to get to that point. You know,
That was one part that was a little bit of an eye roller for me, where Dave Franco takes off in the car, and
Uh-huh.
I took a look at how much time passed before, because Mark Ruffalo's character
yeah, he had to run and
the
catch up.
girl sat there and talked in the car for about 20 seconds, and then next scene he's
Yeah.
on his tail. I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she literally
had a
stops
minute
and
head-
says, "We're not going until
minute
you
head start,
agree."
and he caught him.
Yeah,
somehow.
and they
That
caught
was
him.
A little stretch. I thought could have been played maybe. Had the argument at full speed. It could have been just as good.
are you not saying, Justin, that the FBI vehicles don't have that kind of speed to?
Well, I think that one they stole from just a guy on the street.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
regular-
that's
regular-
true. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she
forgot
just
about
took
that.
a BMW.
Yeah.
That was a little weird. 'Cause didn't they flash back that was that guy at the show or something? Or no, maybe not.
I think he was just some guy on the
Yeah,
street.
This guy on the street.
All right.
Very weird. Now, and you know, and I was thinking they took so much risk in that scene because at one point Dave Franco ran over a bicycle, and I was like, what if that punctured a tire?
True.
You know, there's so much there that just wasn't realistic. You know, and how does he not? How he just happens to swerve around the delivery truck and you know whatever else got in their way, and you know, and like you said, Justin, they got stuck behind a delivery truck, and then next thing you know, they're caught up to him. How in the world, you know, and how they not in New York City? How do you not catch any red lights?
Exactly.
Oh, come on. So that part was a little bit out there.
Yeah.
So anyway, but hey, every movie has those chase scenes that could never possibly happen in real life.
Right.
I mean, I caught 2 red lights on the way to work, and I only go through 4. Much less trying to speed and catch up to somebody.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, and there's a sequel to this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're working on a 3rd installment.
Are they really?
Yes.
I did not know that. The sequel's not bad.
I have not seen the sequel,
Really? Okay.
so I'm going to pitch.
It's
this-
okay. It's a
some-
little more far-pitched.
Okay, so and based off of what we've seen on this one and what Dave has seen on both, is the second one worth an investment in the future to watch?
I'm open to it, but Dave knows a little bit more about it than me.
I mean, it'd be okay.
Okay.
It's kind of more of the same,
Okay.
with just a little
Is
bit.
there a bit of a continuation of storyline, or is it
Um,
total new?
No, it's
direction?
continuation,
Yeah.
but it's just wrapping.
Morgan Freeman in it, or is he in jail somewhere?
He's in it, and
Okay.
yes, he's in jail.
Okay.
Michael Caine's in it. Harry Potter's in it.
Harry Potter.
They do replace the girl, so you get your wishes. So if you want to see it without what
sold.
Isla.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Justin just sold on that fact
Yeah.
right there.
The
Let's
only
talk
thing
about
I'll
that.
say is it gets a little more outlandish and drawn out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is this going to be our fan pick? Was it on the
I
list?
don't. I
Nah,
don't know.
it's
If,
not on the
no,
list.
it's not on the list.
Okay. So you just want to skip the fan pick for this week and go with Now You See Me Too?
Well, let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
Cause I was gonna make it my next pick on my next
that's what
turn.
Regardless, either
At
way.
least
Yeah.
have the random number generator and see what it lands on for fan picks.
Hold on, we're going to rate this one first.
Oh yeah, we need to do that.
Let's rate this one so we can kind of cap it. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll say large.
All right.
All right, Justin.
Well, I'm trying to think. What did I give Ocean's 11? I think a large. Correct.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
teetering. I mean, to me, Ocean's 11. You know, loved it as a kid. On like you said, Dave, a little more of a critical eye watching it again.
Yeah.
Some things that I was like, that's all right. But what ultimately sold me was, I mean, star-studded lineup: Clooney,
Yeah, Brad
Jessica
Pitt, the whole
Roberts.
bit,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody. This one, I don't think this one had the star power that an Ocean's 11 had.
Agreed.
So for me, it's a medium. It could have gone large, but I think it's a medium for me. It's
Yeah.
right there with
You didn't even have a hate list. Come on.
entertaining in the same way Ocean's 11 was. Lots of twists and turns, same way, but just no George Clooney in this one. You know, Morgan Freeman was good, but
So Justin would have traded the girl for George Clooney, and that would have made it a large.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To me, across the board, I mean, the two casts of like an Ocean's 11 type movie and this one are just a little bit of a different caliber, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, I liked Gruffalo a lot in what was it called?
Begin again.
Yep, I liked him a
Okay.
lot in that. I didn't love him as this kind of boisterous FBI agent, even if that was part of his whole trick.
Interesting.
That's where I'm at.
Now You See Me Too might change that.
Well, I'm not seeing it anywhere anytime soon, so we may have
Come
to,
on, Joe.
we may have to put a placeholder
Work
on
some
that.
magic.
Well,
Nothing's locked. Let's go.
Well, we don't have Mr. Franco here to unlock it for us.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
All right, all right. So so medium? I'm a large. You know, I kind of agree with Justin. I'm gonna go back to overflowing medium.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause
I hate to dump
all
a
the
large on because
actors-
we've seen some good movies that I feel like are better.
Yeah.
these
Right.
actors are all capable. Like I've seen them all in other things. That
Yes.
I was like, awesome. And
I'm
then
not counting
you
Garofalo,
Put
but
them all together individually in this movie.
I'll give you the girl though. The girl really bothers me now.
All right.
I'm still not bothered by the girls.
I
So
don't quite put her on a hate list. I just thought
Yeah.
she wasn't
Ineffective.
quite
Very ineffective.
the,
And I noticed in like the elevator scene, you know, at the end,
Mm.
she's just kind of like going through the motion.
just kind of chuckling at
Yeah.
things.
And
Sure.
you know, when she's on the stage, she's not hamming it up as much.
Mhm.
I agree. She's almost just like reading the lines. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
what-
on the stage, it seemed like her role was kind of just to announce to the audience different things, like, oh, now this is gonna happen there.
yeah. Well, now you guys have convinced me to
Oh boy.
slightly adjust my
Oh, boy.
rating, just
From
slightly.
a mop bucket to a
No, from an overflowing large to just a solid large. I'm
Okay,
I'm
that's
going
fair.
solid large on this one.
Yep.
And honestly, Justin, you bring up an excellent point about the girl. I'd never gave it any thought. I mean, I enjoyed her performance, but since you brought it up on the show, I think you're right. They could have swapped somebody else in that role.
like
And
Wedding Crashers, perfect role for her. I can't picture anybody else pulling it off like she did in the Wedding Crashers. I thought she was really funny as the like amusingly crazy girlfriend that was
right.
making Vince Vaughn's life
Yeah.
crappy.
Do you know?
But
Do you
in
know
this
how
movie,
old
yeah,
she
it's
is?
almost like she could have been swapped out.
You guys know how old she is?
No.
She's 45 years old.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's
she's married to
crazy.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
I think I did know that.
45.
Wow.
She's playing a 20-year-old.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Did not know that. So she's in Shopaholic, Wedding Crashers, Now You See Me, Keeping Up with the Joneses. She's in a lot of movies. Scooby-Doo, Definitely Maybe, Tag, Great Gatsby, Hot Rod. I forgot about Hot Rod. Rango. Huh. She's in a lot of movies. Holy cow.
I will say I gotta tip my hat to them for embracing the whole magic and like forming this whole story around this type of, I don't know, it's a unique thing. I mean, I think maybe it's been done a little bit before, but illusions and magic and using that as kind of the driver of the whole story, I thought that was interesting, something I hadn't really seen before, and it kind of set it apart from Ocean's 11. Didn't feel like, even if someone said this is the Ocean's 11 for Gen Y, it felt like a totally fresh take on it, not
Yeah.
just another heist movie. Not
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of twists and turns, which I liked, but for me, yeah, some of I just liked all of these actors in other things more than I liked them together in this movie.
Yeah.
That's where I land on it.
Huh.
All right. So
And I can definitely go for overflowing medium. I just can't quite get to large.
you just can't sell you on a large, huh?
I'm right there with you, Joe. Around the same area, but
Yeah, I mean, we are in the same range. I mean, we're not talking extremes here, because Dave, you said you use what, a solid medium?
Yeah, I'd say overflowing medium. I
Okay,
agree with that.
overflowing
Like I
medium,
say, I
okay.
was large at first, but I'm gonna back it down just a little bit because of that.
See, I was wanting to go down a peg to overflowing medium, so we could make it certified. But I enjoyed it too much. I
Yeah.
cannot.
Yeah, don't let
There were
us-
there were a lot of explosions for you, Joe.
You know,
don't let
yeah.
us drag you down.
I knocked it down from overflowing large to just large, but I
Yeah.
can't knock it down to that medium range. My
Fair
poor heart can't take it. So, are you guys ready for the? Do we want to? It's now the time to work on see if we
Yeah,
can.
flop
get
out
it.
the number
Yeah, just-
generator and let's see where we
All
hit.
right.
And
Okay.
this is not, I'm not pushing this in any way, but just kind of curious if you guys have seen Willow from 1988
No, I have not.
with Val Kilmer and the little dwarf guy that plays Willow. I don't know. I just always liked it as a kid. Not that I'm recommending it or saying we should cover it or
I
anything.
assume it's on the list, right?
It is on the fan list.
I don't think I have seen it.
But
I have not.
Okay, guys. The first.
It's a George Lucas film.
Ooh. This is gonna be hard to beat.
all right, what we got?
The first pick is number 109. Stand by Me.
I think haven't we talked about this one before? Or that not well, just that
Uh,
I brought it up asking.
has Will
19
Wheaton in it, Jerry
1980
O'Connell, Kiefer Sutherland, Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah,
As
I've
kids?
seen it a lot. Yeah, they were kids.
Wow.
Well, Richard Dreyfuss is an adult though,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
in it as well. But
From 1986.
yeah, I don't know. I've seen this one a lot. It's good.
Let's spin the wheel again just to see what
Okay.
we get.
Will Wheaton from The Big Bang.
And Star Trek. Okay. Number 87, Die Hard.
Interesting. Maybe I saw it, but it's been so long. It would probably feel.
I have not seen any of the Die Hard movies. I've always wanted to, but I've just
Really?
I've just never gotten around to.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
What do you say we spin it
Spin
5
it.
times total? And see
Wow,
what we get?
Jerry O'Connell and Stand By Me was Vern Tesso. Jerry O'Connell plays like he's in a lot of spoof movies, but he's like really cut and ripped, like an athlete type guy.
Yeah.
Vern was the heavy kid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How unreal is
Okay, next one is number 79, which is A Beautiful Laundrette,
that? Oh boy.
or My Beautiful
Well, hold on, let's
Laundrette.
go back. I feel like we can get out of Stand By Me or Willow, one of those two, or Die Hard, any of those three. So let's pick between those three.
All right,
Okay.
fine.
I don't think we should breeze past those.
Okay.
Okay, Stand By Me, I
Stand By
cannot.
Me is a Stephen King movie.
Okay, I can't find it anywhere right now.
Oh man.
I know, I'm bummed.
No.
Trust me, I am bummed.
So then that comes down to Willow or Die Hard.
And Die Hard is currently free on Amazon Prime.
You sure? Because I'm seeing.
Die Hard 1988. Amazon Prime free is what I'm showing. I mean, I would definitely.
Oh, it's on. Okay, it's streaming only, but yeah, it's free.
I definitely
But I don't think you can download it.
stand behind Willow. I think it's entertaining and I mean, a bit of a throwback and
Willow?
yeah.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, many times.
Really?
Used to love it as a kid. Val Kilmer
Hmm.
as
So Joe, it's up to you. I watch either one of them. I've
Yeah.
seen Stand By Me a million times. Have not seen Willow.
Well, I've seen Stand By Me a million times as well. I've not seen. Well, let me see if I can find.
Yeah, can we find Willow?
Yeah, let me see if I can find Willow.
Amazon Prime.
Is it?
Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, Willow is Amazon Prime. Let me check Die Hard real quick.
Willow is directed by Ron Howard, produced by George Lucas.
Okay, and Die Hard is free on Tubi.
Okay.
So
Either one, fine with me. You guys pick it. Tough call.
I'm wanting to shoot for Die Hard, but we just got done with an action movie, so
Yeah, Willow's
I don't
more,
know-
fantasy and sword fights and dragon type things.
yeah, as well as I don't know if I want to watch another action movie right now for the simple fact we may be extra hard on it, but since we just finished an action movie, we just might need something to change the scenery a little bit.
Sounds like you're wanting to go for Willow then.
So
Yeah.
okay, so Willow then.
All right.
Willow it is.
All right. So our next week.
1988.
So our next pick is our fan pick, and our next fan pick of the week, which will be our next episode, will be Willow, and it's available right now for free on Amazon Prime. Although it's also available on several other platforms, but you'd have to either pay to rent or pay to buy. But right now it's available on Amazon Prime for free.
All right.
Now it says, I'm looking here on Google, Willow, was it a flop? Underperformed, met with critical apathy. Although it was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for the worst of the year in 1988.
Yeah.
Okay, so this might be a good one because this way, if I
This
rake
could
it
be
over if I rake it over the
Power
coals, I
dog.
don't feel so bad.
Well, it says Google users 85% like the movie, 51% Rotten Tomato,
7.3
Metacritic.
IMDb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Back and forth. All right, we'll see if
'Cause if
Justin's
it's-
childhood holds up.
Mhm.
Because if it's Justin's pick, I'd feel bad about raking over the coals. But since this is a fan pick,
I kind of feel like it's Justin's
I
pick
can
anyway,
let it-
so yeah.
no, I can go out guns blazing if it's a fan pick.
He brought this to our doorstep. He will pay. All right.
So
anyway.
basically, you're setting Justin up.
I mean-
Justin's going to catch it either way, is what you're saying.
Well, the good news is he can redeem himself right after this with his own pick.
This is true.
So
Right.
if this ends up being terrible, then Justin, you got a shot to redeem yourself. So choose wisely.
Wait, look at this VHS cover though, or whatever.
Oh
it is.
wow!
Looks pretty epic.
Oh my
Val
gosh.
Kilmer's hair flying in the
Yeah.
wind.
Although I want to give Justin grief, but the way he picks movies, he's hit more home runs than fouls.
Not-
So
yeah, I agree. He's like
so I
Babe
can't-
Ruth, swing for the fence every time.
yes, I can't.
Sometimes a strikeout.
Although although his methodology of picking movies is completely different than anything I've seen,
Yeah.
it works. So
Okay.
I can't
I agree with
really
you.
I can't give him too much grief over it.
I might even bring my sister into this because
Oh boy.
I'm gonna ask her to watch.
She watched it with you before in the past.
Oh yeah, we used
Right.
to love it as kids. So
Okay.
she'll be excited to hear we're reviewing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
have her rewatch and ask her if she
Yeah,
thinks it
yeah,
holds
so-
up and all that.
This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to crush Justin's childhood memories?
Is
my
Justin
sister.
gonna need therapy after this?
Yeah.
But guys, I love this movie as a kid. Why you gotta ruin it for me?
Hey, if I got ruined on Power Rangers, we can go after Justin's childhood
I
on
gotcha.
Willow.
Okay. All right. Well, Justin, take us out of here, man.
All right. Next week, Willow, and anything else you want to reach out and say, hey, you guys got to watch this movie, or if you want to reach out and say,
What were you
I
guys
love
thinking?
Howard- I love Howard the Duck, and you guys are
Oh
wrong.
gosh.
So,
Oh no.
Joe, how can folks reach
The
out
name
to
that
us?
shall not be mentioned just got mentioned.
You can visit our website at beentherewatchthat.com or follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at BTWTPod. And like Justin said, let us know if we've made a hit or a miss, or send us your submissions. We would love to add your movie to the list. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. Been there, watch that. And all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
All right. Now you see me. Pretty successful deal. Good job, Joe.
Thank you.
You know, following up on your Ocean's 11. Are you going to get off the Ocean 11 train and pick something?
I go where the algorithms take me.
I got you. All right. So you see the methodology here behind our stuff. But for myself, Joe, and Justin, we're out of here for this week. We'll be back next week with Willow. Thanks for tuning in. Been there. Watch that.